Hi, welcome to Old People Are Gamers Too. I'm Lyric, and today I wanted to have a look at one of my favorite games from last year, Stardew Valley. It was something that I found through my son, and it was something I didn't think I would like. Old style graphics, very simple gameplay, clear your farm, grow crops, that sort of thing, and it ended up being an obsession. And I played for months and had a really good time, and then it got a little repetitive, and I put it aside for a little while, and now they have a new patch that gives us a lot of new options. It's done some made some changes in how much you get for crops, and there are two extra people that you can marry. They're not new characters, same characters that were there before, but they're now available to marry. One of them is Shane, and the reason I can remember his name is because he's horrible. He's very, very rude, and why someone would want to marry him is beyond me, but that's another problem. Anyway, the game now has 5 different options for you when you start. 5 different types of farms. One is the original farm. One gives you rivers in case you really like to fish. One is mountainous and it has a lot of minerals on it. One gives you a lot of land and the monsters come out at night. And then there's the forest cabin, and that's the one that I've selected for this particular video. I will be looking at the new 4 that are available. And I just want to see, what changes they've made and if it makes a big difference in the gameplay. As you can see, the forest cabin looks like Christmas. There's definitely what looks like some holly hanging on the tree. So we're going to get out of bed here and check out this care package that somebody's brought us. And we have parsnip seeds. That's very exciting. They want us to look at the journal. They want us to grow those vegetables, and they want us to greet the 28 people in town. Now, I found that I like to have my fire on. Probably not safe with all these trees in the house, but oh well. And I don't always check the weather reports. I don't always look at the fortune teller, but I'm going to today to see if there are any differences. I have good humored spirits. Living off the land just explains for any newbies about chopping wood and searching the forage to find some cash while you're waiting on your first harvest to come in. And I went through the weather forecast too fast. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. Doesn't help me today, but oh well. There's a lot more trees and grass and rocks right outside the cabin, but to me it looks like the exact same setup. There's the dog dish, and there's the path that goes up toward the caves, and there looks like the path to town. So that part hasn't changed at all. I'm going to start by breaking up some of this plant life and some of these rocks and give myself a place to start my first garden. I've checked the option to show me where my utensil that I'm using, whether it's the shovel or the hoe or whatever, where it's going to hit, because I am horrible about just sitting and hacking away and having no idea what direction things are going to go. I'm not very coordinated. Okay, I'm going to break up some of these rocks. The trick here is going to be not to wear myself out before I get my garden ready to go. But I want this whole area here available. And I'm going to chop down these little trees here. So let's take the hoe and make ourselves a garden spot. Even with the square on, I cannot hit where I want to hit. That is amazing. I did mention I'm really uncoordinated, didn't I? Oops, I left there we go. Alright, get the hoe back out. I would think that this would be extremely boring to watch someone play. And I don't intend to do that. I'm going to do some videos on this so that you only see little bits and pieces of it at a time and just talk about the changes. But for this opening video, you're just going to have to bear with me a little bit. One of the advantages to being on the forest farm is that you get a lot of mixed seeds, and I've gotten 2 just doing this work around here, but it seems to me that that's about the same number that I got in the old game, but supposedly I'm supposed to get more of those, and maybe you don't get them on the other types of farms anymore. And I'm going to plant those as well. Mixed seeds are always exciting because you have no idea what you're getting. And we're going to, whoops, we're going to water our plants here. Okay, and I am exhausted. It's noon, and I am already exhausted. That's awesome. There really isn't much else I can do, so we're going to turn in and go to sleep. Did that happen a little faster than it used to? I'm not sure. So we're going to go to sleep. There won't be any money overnight because we didn't gather anything. And we're awake again. Let's see. We'll check the weather. It's going to rain all day tomorrow, which means that'll be a great time to go to town because I won't have to water my crops, and that'll give me some extra time. We've got a mail here, and there it goes. Willie wants me to come see him at the docks. I hated fishing in this game. It just seemed needlessly hard for no reason. I can understand the wanting it to be a challenge, and I know that there are people that really liked it. Would you look at that? I just unhoed part of my garden. I'm hopeless. Okay, now one of the things I'm going to want to build right away is a chest, and I need 50 wood to do that because if I don't have room in this very tiny bit of inventory space I've got, I won't be able to gather or buy seeds or anything. And so we're gonna water our crops, and then I'm going to get the wood that I need together. Another thing I'd hoped that they would fix was the lack of inventory space. Again, I understand that they want you to make choices and they want it to be challenging, but there's challenging and then there's irritating. And I'm a refugee from the game Ion. I don't know if you've ever played that or not, but they are big believers in restricting your inventory space to the point that you want to hurt yourself. And that's pretty much how this is as well. It costs 2,000 gold to buy a new backpack. And that's just nuts. And even then it doesn't get you very many spaces. Okay. You know, it's hard to gather. Okay, I've got 45, it looks like here, 46. One more tree ought to do it. And I'll have enough to build me a chest where I can keep my things. There we go. Okay, well, I'm going to want to put it over here by the cabin. I like for my chest to be outside, at least in the beginning. There's really not a lot of room inside. Okay, there's my chest, and pop it down there. Another problem that I saw with the game that they have not fixed. Okay, why are you not setting this down? Am I too close to the house? Possibly. Okay. And oh, and we have a color bar here across the top, and we can color this any color we want to here. That's very nice. I like that. There's a lot of different colors. I'm partial to blue, so I really like. I think I'm gonna let mine be that color right there. And of course, we don't want to sell the materials we're getting from the yard because you use those to make things. And if I'm going to go to town this morning, and I still have enough energy to do that, I don't need my scythe or my pickaxe. I'm going to take my hoe with me. And let's go buy some seeds. I don't have a lot of money to do that. Hopefully I'll get lucky here and be able to gather some things that I can put into the box to sell overnight. Very nice. Got some dandelions there, and here's some more. And daffodils. Hopefully that'll bring some money in overnight, because this 500 gold is not going to go far in buying seeds. They're very expensive. Okay. Forgetting, since I started again, they want me to see that there's a calendar up here with everyone's birthdays. That's the same. Got a job up here on the board. Nope. I have such a problem. There we go. Could someone bring me seaweed? Robin. Pay 60 gold. I'll say yes. And here's someone to meet. This is Evelyn. I think I'll call you Evelyn and not Granny. We have a couple other people here. We'll get started on that. Jody says I'm not exactly what she imagined. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't think I'm really going to change things much. Emily just knows I'm going to love it here. And she works at the saloon. That's very exciting. You know, the whole time I played this game, I could never remember anyone's names or where they lived. It was really awful. And here's Abigail, and she doesn't like it that I've moved here because she likes to explore the fields by herself. So she's just assuming that I'm going to get in her way. Okay, let's see. We get multiple beans a harvest. But these are expensive, and I won't get to get many of those. Potato seeds, 6 days to mature. I have a chance of getting multiple potatoes at harvest. Okay, well, I tell you what. Let's do some potatoes. Alright, and maybe a couple of tulips. And now I'm basically out of money. So we're going to leave now. If I met you. Yes, apparently I have. Okay. So we're going to go down to the beach now. Oh yes, Marnie. Now she's the one that sells the stuff I need for my animals. And I love growing animals. I like that almost as much as growing the crops. You notice I spend a lot of time stuck on scenery. I'm a big World of Warcraft player and spend a lot of time on scenery there too. Here's a nice addition. We can skip these cutscenes here if we want to. That's nice. But since we're seeing if there's any changes here, I'm going to sit through this one right now. He's going to give me my fishing rod. I'm very excited about it, as you can see. I got a bamboo pole. Tell me there's a lot of nice places to fish here. And I can buy things from him, and he will buy anything I catch. And I remember from the original game, he pays the exact same thing that you would get if you put it in a box. So, alright. Let's equip the pole, and the longer you hold the left button down, the farther your cast goes. I remember that. I hope they've done something different with this, but I have a bad feeling. Okay, we've got a hit. Alright, and yep, there it is. You gotta keep pushing with your left finger, trying to keep this bar up behind that fish. They always kind of fix it so you catch this first fish, but look at this. I'm having trouble with it, and it's an easy one. It's not running up and down on me. Need that left bar, I started to say. I need that right bar to get to the top. There we go. And I've caught a 5-inch sunfish. Yeah. Well, at least they gave the instructions, which is something they did not do the first time. But they left it the same. He's going to buy that sunfish from me for $30. Okay, thank you. In my original game of this, I decided that I wanted to fall in love with this tortured writer that lives in this cottage here, Elliot. And let me tell you, he was hard. It took me several years of gameplay to get him to the point where he would even consider marrying me. I think it took me a full year before he'd let me inside his cabin. By the time I finally got him interested in me and he was willing to marry me, I found out that you can only marry Elliot, I believe it's 1 season out of the year, and I was 2 seasons away from that. And I was just going to have to go through doing the same thing over and over every day for 2 full seasons, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So Elliot and I never actually married. It was very sad. Okay, I have some things I can put. I got oysters, cockles, clams, dandelions, and daffodils. There we go. And let's see if I've got enough energy to plant these seeds. Okay, and now the potatoes. Okay. Then I need to get my things out of the box here. I'm just going to go ahead and put that bamboo pole in there. I am not going to be using that. At least not very often. If anybody watches this video, this is my first one for our new YouTube channel. You will have to tell me if you fish and if you like it and if you got any tips to make it a little bit easier. It's one of the reasons I never finished the entire gameplay part of this, was because you need fish for some of the collections at the town hall later, and just didn't work out for me. Alright, well, let's go to bed and see if we made any money overnight. Okay, this is a change. We used to get money for the clams and all the other stuff that we put in here. We didn't get anything for the for the other flour. We didn't get anything for the other shells that I collected. I don't like that at all. That's a change I am not real happy about. It's hard enough to make money in this game. Okay. Well, as I said before, it's raining. I can hear it on the house. I don't want to bore you by playing the game day by day. I will continue playing and find out what new there is and put together another video for you. I want to check out this forest cabin, and then we'll look at the other new ones and see what we think about those too. So far, I like being able to skip scenes. I like being able to pick a different color for things that I make. That's good. I like the new farm. Even though it looks like the same farm in a way, I like that there are more trees and more things to do. I think that'll be fun. But I don't like this new deal where they aren't paying me for all of my forage. That's not a lot of fun. And it doesn't look like they made any changes to fishing, and for me that was something that really needed to be done. Other changes that they're supposed to have in here, we're supposed to be able to move our buildings after we've put them down and we want to move them. We're supposed to have like a cellar for our houses, and empty buildings that we can decorate on the inside with casks and things like that. I'm looking forward to seeing all of that, and I will put a video together about that as I play further. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to our channel. We are going to be having a lot of fun here at BBJ Gaming, and that includes board games and things of that nature. We do all kinds of gaming. So thank you again for coming, and hope to be back soon.